My name is Osahon, your instructor today on AWS Cloud. Our focus on our objective today will be creating a custom AMI and cross-region copy. Simply creating an AMI, which is the operating system, which includes the root volume, and replicating the full server in a different region entirely. So we are cutting across two regions. This is region 1, US East 1, and then we are copying the infrastructure here, every information here, to another region, which is region 2. So this is the goal of this particular lab. Pretty much simple and straightforward. We are going to start right away. So I'll go to the AWS platform. I'll click on EC2. I'll click on instance and I'll launch my instance. Now I'll give it a name. Let me give it Windows. And I will look at the region, which is US. Now I'm going to use the existing AMI. Let me work with Windows as well. I have to select my operating system. So I run that to select my key. So I love adjusting my setting, so I can choose any of the available zone. I'm going to choose one of them, default VPC. The IP is enabled, security is available. So I'm going to look at security group. By default we have this. I can include our HTTP protocol anywhere. I'm going to add another HTTPS anywhere. So I am done creating or setting the network. So we have our volume here, which is 30 gig. So at this point I am done. Straightforward and simple summary. Yeah, I'm done. So I'll be clicking on launch my instance. I've successfully created the instance. Now I'll click on this instance ID. At this point I'll click on refresh. I'll also wait for the status is pending. From pending, it is changing right away. Switching us ready. I'll wait for the status here to confirm if it's 2 or 3 over 3 successful. So from this server we are going to create another instance. So remember, it is AWS Cloud, and what we are looking at is creating an AMI. So I is image, so we come to image templates. and we can just click on create an image. So on the image we can give it a name. Let me give it Windows 4. Description is not mandatory, so we'll leave it that way. All the information is just an image of the one we just created. Everything remains the same. Every single parameter remains the same. And I click on create image. So you can see the currently creating AMI image. So let's click on this. So this is the image. This is the status they're showing us pending. Created the image of the Windows 4. So I'll click on this and click on refresh, waiting for the status. Waiting for the status. It's pretty much straightforward. Once the status is updated, all we need to do is to copy this to a different region, and it's as simple as that. So just going back to our architectural structure, let's go back to the instance. So I'll click on refresh. We can see it is 2/2. Just do some bit of housekeeping. I'm going to select just the state that is running. At this point, I'm going to look at the AMI that I have just created. Let me refresh to see what the status is. Still showing as pending. Give it a little more time. Okay, just wait a little more. So we'll just wait a little for the status. So now our status is showing as available. So this AMI that we just created is available. So what we need to do is to come to copy. Now everything remains the same. Now we can see here what the destination region would be. So I'm going to change it to a different region. So let me look at, I'm copying it to, let me choose mobile. So I can choose to encrypt it. If I choose to encrypt APBS snapshots, so I don't want to, I'll click on copy. So it will take a few minutes for this to be copied. So at this point, I can refresh. Simply now go to the region I copied the AMI, the full server to. So let me go to the region here. This is the region. You can see in the region we have this server still pending. It's just actually very simple. It's creating an instance in one server. From the server, you create an image. Once the image is created and available, you copy it and place it on a different region. So now we have the full server copied and transferred to a different geographical region. So now I'll wait a bit. It take a bit of a time to update because we are transferring a full server, not just the volume, but the full server to a different region. So I'll go to the architectural structure just to show you where we are. So we are here. So this is the stage specifically where we are. Now with this IMI, we are going to launch our instance. So I'll go back and see the updates. So it's still showing us pending. So the copy instance status is now available. At this point, we can immediately create an instance from this. Okay, when we click on this, it goes directly. Or we can go to instance in this new region. We create an instance. Now you can see, okay, let me create a name here, maybe Windows 5 on this region. So the operating system I'm using is my own. You can see the name I gave to mine, which is Windows. By default, it is selected. You can see the instance type. So I'm just copying the whole server to a different region. So I'm going to select a new password. So the settings again, if I choose to put it on a specific region or leave it as default, so that is up to you. So at this point, it's enabled security group, in-band security rules. I can as well make it public. The same with this, can also make it public. And finally, my summary, perfect. I've launched. So obviously, I've achieved the goal of this task, which is creating a custom EMI, and we copied it to a different region, which we have used. It's more like this full server is transferred over here. So thank you so much for your time. I hope the explanation was detailed enough. It is copying the full server to a different region. And how do we achieve this? You launch an instance in a specific region. You copy an image of that server and once that is done, it creates an AMI. The AMI that you have created, you can copy and transfer it to a different region, and therefore you have a mirror copy in a different region. Thank you so much, and do have a great time.